Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 518 based on novel. So let's start. The small stone formed by the fusion of the 10-color holy flame and the devil's brilliance, no matter how you look at it, it is as small as a drop in the ocean. But at the moment when he invaded the evil mouth of Mingyuan, a huge wave was set off between this world. Boom! A loud bang, shocking people's hearts, hit the soul directly, and even the mouth of the abyss that could not be destroyed began to collapse in an instant. Collapse. Such an attack actually reached the level of a demigod fighting skill. Looking at this scene, Lord Lei's heart suddenly turned upside down, and his beautiful eyes were full of unbelievable expressions. Fighting skills of this level are simply impossible to display with the mere five-fold reincarnation level strength. With the loud noise, countless strong men raised their heads and stared at the sky. Above the sky, there was a scene of fiery purgatory that they would never forget. With the mouth of the abyss as the center, a dazzling energy shock wave rippled, and the entire void sky seemed to be viciously hit by some huge creature, and countless voids collapsed in an instant. The sky collapsed, the mountains and rivers swayed, the mountains, rivers, and huge mountain ranges that stretched for countless miles collapsed and collapsed. The demonic mist of blood ink and the boiling blood-colored lava instantly replaced the endless evil power emanating from the mouth of the abyss, and the power of the two poured down from the entire sky. Above the sky, a gap in the sky suddenly appeared, as if it was smashed open by Xiao Yan's blow. Even the thunder of the sky and the earth, which the Thunder Master is proud of, may not be able to produce such a shocking scenery. Do not. Impossible. At this moment, Shen Ming's eyes instantly turned red, and a frantic roar of anger swept over. How can it be? I have painstakingly planned a perfect plan for 1,000 years, and it was only the last step away, and it was a perfect success. How could it be completely destroyed by Xiao Yang with the power of one person? But whether Shen Ming believed it or not, when the stone was thrown into the mouth of the abyss, the void leading to the underworld completely disappeared. Today's space is falling and undulating, like a rocky void fault, and extremely dazzling hot fire waves are continuously inclined from the mouth of the sky. The evil aura and dark matter of the whole world are now being baked and purified by this scalding holy flame. The world is slowly returning to its original peaceful appearance. A thin black figure stood gently on the mouth of the flames, his eyes fixed on the hideous guy in the sky. The culprit of this catastrophe, the realm master Shen Ming, your plan has failed completely. Xiao Yang spoke, his voice filled with an irresistible chill. It seems that the guy standing in front of Shen Ming at this moment is no longer a human being. That is the breath of flame, that is the real supreme ruler. However, no matter how hot and holy flame halo erupted from the mouth of flames, it did not bring any load to Xiao Yang. The golden halo quietly poured out of the body and spread over the skin, and those fiery flames instantly became the sharpest blade of the latter's hand. Humph! Xiao Yang. Don't think that if you break my plan, I will be slaughtered by you like this. At this time, Shen Ming, looking at Xiao Yang who was aloof and irresistible, suddenly turned mad. In this catastrophe, he was the biggest winner, but now he lost, and he lost nothing. However, he is a cautious person, and he has already left a way out for himself. In time, he must be ashamed and wipe out Xiao Yang and others who blocked his plan today. This guy survived the explosion of the fusion of Shi Yang and the radiance of the devil. Wait for the Lord's return later, you all have to die. The crazy laughter slowly passed, and behind him, a huge evil mouth suddenly appeared. The evil giant mouth is like a vortex of time and space, and no one knows where he is going to escape. Not good. Seeing this, Xiao Yang exclaimed. He just wanted to mobilize a huge force to attack and intercept it, but it was too late. See you later. With a grim face, Shen Ming seemed to be enjoying himself when he watched Xiao Yang's expression change from unbelievable to ugly, but he did not notice the 8 evil beads resting on his palm, trembling slightly at this moment, as if something made him the power of fear comes across time and space. Shen Ming, it's over. A relieved voice slowly sounded from the sky, and along with this voice, there was a heart-piercing scream. The fierce black lightning quietly disappeared into the sky, and eroded into Shen Ming's body without any fluctuation. Suddenly, Shen Ming's body seemed to have broken into an uninvited guest. The black shadow raged and ruthlessly swallowed his life. Netherworld destruction needle? How could this thing be in your hands? Feeling the greedy shadows running around in his body, Shen Ming's face finally showed a hint of fear. The Lord of Soul Eater seized the moment Shen Ming casted the time-space vortex, condensed all his strength, and poured out the black thin needle. Shen Ming hugged his head and screamed, His body and soul were swallowed little by little, and it dissipated here in just a moment. The second evil weapon in the ghost world, the netherworld destruction needle, comes and goes without a trace. Its power is mysterious and unpredictable. Once hit by this needle, it will definitely die. However, it is very difficult to condense this kind of evil weapon, and it costs millions of ghosts, which is really awesome. Brat. After killing Shen Ming with a single blow, the Lord of Soul Eater seemed to have aged hundreds of years in an instant, and a black rune with dim light on his palm rose slightly. Soul Eater Talisman? Teacher, who are you? Xiao Yang's complexion became slightly calmer. Even if it is purified by your holy flame power, there are still countless sinister and evil auras left in this space. Only by swallowing them with the power of soul devouring can this farce be completely ended. The Lord of Soul Eater opened his mouth, and his voice was full of joy. It's up to the teacher to do this kind of thing. No. You need this power more than me. Little guy, catch it. As soon as he finished speaking, the soul-devouring talisman quietly approached Xiao Yang. Boom. In an instant, the power of devouring filled the air, and the countless remaining sinister evil powers made bursts of roars, all of which were swallowed up by Xiao Yang without exception. And Xiao Yang's strength, which had skyrocketed to the peak of the fifth-layer reincarnation because of the war and dragon blood, was now slowly spreading towards a more terrifying realm with the addition of the endless evil power. The war was completely over, and countless strong men breathed a sigh of relief, and at the same time shouted in unison to the thin black shadow above the sky, Master Xiao, you God is mighty. In the end, Xiao Yang's strength was completely fixed at the half-step six-layer reincarnation level. Obviously, after this reincarnation level, the further back the reincarnation level is, the more powerful he needs. Ended. Well, it's over. A series of things, such as the rest of the space repair, will be done by dedicated people. When the catastrophe was over, Xiao Yang's body instantly returned to the altar of Li Huanyu. Looking at the two women in front of him, he couldn't help but smile. Next time. Mu Yingying's heart warmed, and she instantly fell into Xiao Yang's arms with tears in her eyes, but she swallowed the words again. Next time, let's go together. Yun quietly grabbed Mu Yingying's arm and said sweetly, this ***** is quite blessed. Some high-level people watched such a scene and couldn't help but speak out, but their voices were full of admiration. The descendant of the Xiao clan, the master of the endless fire domain, Xiao Yang, deserves his name. This catastrophe has finally come to an end. Although the endless fire territory and the entire ghost world suffered heavy losses, the evil races outside the territory also suffered heavy losses. What's more, after this battle, the might of the endless fire territory will probably permeate the entire Great Thousand World. The war ended, and the ghost world fog that surrounded the cracks in the ghost world all day long was also wiped out by Soul Eater and others, reopening countless passages between the ghost world and the great world. The passage has just been opened, and part of the army led by King Shura, the **** of war in the heavens, and the deputy palace master of Darkiangong, the army has been guarding outside the passage for dozens of days. The gloomy ghost aura cast by the world master of the ghost world is a monstrous demon formation with 600,000 lines. After the master of Soul Eater and others negotiated with the strong men of the two forces, they each returned to the heavenly realm and the Great Thousand Palace. However, after the battle of the ghost world, countless powerhouses understand that the second war between heaven and earth has begun, countless forces have already been on alert, and the entire world has entered a state of extreme vigilance, which is used to deal with the attack of the alien race. Immortal Realm, Darkiangong, Ghost Realm, the front and back three regions were attacked by foreign evil clans, causing the Dakian world to fall into a kind of dead silence. It seems that no one knows where the foreign evil clan will attack next time. In the Ghost Realm, due to the greed of the Ghost Realm Center and others, with the annihilation of the entire army in this war, the overall strength of the Ghost Realm has greatly shrunk. The situation is similar to that of the Fairy Realm Center, which is very miserable. As a last resort, Lei Zhu was appointed as the new master of the Ghost World Center and headquartered in the headquarters of Li Soul Domain. The Soul Eater, as the deputy world master, lingered in the Ghost World all day long, solving the hidden dangers in the Ghost World, big and small. Dangerous, maintaining the proper order of this world. As for Du Qifei and the others, they joined the Ghost World Center and waited for the World Master's dispatch, so the Ghost World Center slowly recovered a little bit of vitality. On the second day after the catastrophe just ended, Du Qifei, Mu Yingying and Yun were busy in Li Soul Realm, the empty space in the center of the Ghost Realm. Every extremely important meeting was planned. About Ghost World rules. On the morning of the third day, The three slowly set foot in the wooden house and seemed to be discussing something. These are all the medicinal pills needed to support the strong this time. Yun was very thoughtful. A densely packed scroll appeared in front of Xiao Yang, nearly dozens of sizes, which made Xiao Yang, who had not fully recovered from the war just over, feel a little overwhelmed. If Xiao Yang could refine such a quantity of medicinal pills alone, he would have obtained the year of the monkey and the horse moon. So many. Seeing this, Mu Yingying pouted her lips involuntarily. She clearly understood Xiao Yang's concerns. As the elder of the Heavenly Medicine Temple, you can pick up all the medicinal herbs below the 9th rank, but the quantity should not be too much. For the 7th rank, there are as many as a feather in the air. The Alchemy Hall in the Endless Fire territory can help you refine a part of it. It's just that there are dozens of medicinal pills for the old man with white bones, cold-blooded generals, and other powerhouses. I'm afraid you still need to refine them yourself. Yun also hurriedly gave Xiao Yang an idea. Okay. With a faint sigh, Xiao Yang temporarily kept these things in his heart. Now there is another very important thing. If there's nothing to do, let's go to work first. After the things here in the Ghost Realm come to an end for a while, we will return to the Endless Fire Realm. You hurry up to swallow the source of the evil god, and the disorganized power in your body. After cultivating, try to break through to the 6th level. Yun nodded. Before the retreat, there is one more thing. Come with me. Xiao Yang smiled mysteriously, then took the two daughters and slowly walked towards the residence of the Soul Eater. The ugly daughter-in-law always wants to see her parents-in-law, and the Soul Eater is indispensable to Xiao Yang's growth. Teacher. The three of them came to a quiet mountain range, and here is the mansion specially opened by Li Huanyu for the Deputy Realm Master in the center of the Ghost Realm. How's the situation? The Soul Eater opened the door lazily, smiling all over his face, but besides Xiao Yang, there were two figures of Yang Ting outside the door. Little guy, these two? Soul Eater coughed dryly, as if to remind Xiao Yang of something. Soul Eater still had a lot of impressions of Mu Yingying, and naturally knew the identity of the latter, but Yun on the side made him a little puzzled. This girl's body and appearance aside, just talking about her strength, she seems to be on par with herself. Yun, I have seen the teacher. Mu Yingying, I have seen the teacher. The two women's faces flushed slightly, and then they bit their lip and teeth. In Xiao Yang's explanation on the road, they naturally understood the kindness of the Soul Eater to Xiao Yang. Hey, it's okay. My mantle and soul-devouring talisman has been passed on to this stinky boy, and I have not prepared any greetings. 2 volumes should be in line with your own evil top fairy magic scrolls, so just accept them. The Lord of Soul Eater laughed, and 2 exquisite silver scrolls suddenly emerged from his palm. The scroll is filled with a classical agility, which seems to be quite old. The first shot was 2 scrolls of fighting skills at the top level of immortality. Such a boldness was enviable. Thank you, teacher. The 2 women glanced at each other, and did not falter. They each took the next volume, and then quietly stood beside Xiao Yang. The many evil weapons that appeared during this catastrophe now have their own belongings. The Netherworld Breaker Needle is under my control, the Myriad Thoughts Evil Bead is under the control of the Thunder Lord for the time being, and the Blood River Bell is under the control of Fang Yanghao. Xiao Gui controls the Yin and Yang Ghosts and God's Scroll, and guards the so-called entrance to the underworld together with the 10 halls of your Xiao clan, Yama. The entrance is also in the headquarters of Li Huanyu. In addition to this, countless regions in the Ghost World have thoroughly checked all the people of unknown origin. One after another information poured out from the mouth of the Soul Eater in an orderly manner. It's hard work for the teacher and the 2 ladies. Hearing this, Xiao Yang smiled helplessly. When the catastrophe was over, he returned to the Li Soul Realm to live in the health machine, and did not interfere in the affairs here. In this battle, the Ghost World has suffered heavy losses, and it will take a lot of time to recover your vitality, but your Endless Fire region is also all losses, so Yun Qi, Yuan Yang and those guys have made up their minds, and they will accompany you later. Go back together. With their power, they can also help you in the Endless Fire territory. The Soul Eater said again. Yep. But teacher, what is the entrance to the underworld? Xiao Yang still decided to ask. For this kind of thing, I'm afraid you still need to ask the Yama of the 10 halls of the Xiao clan. That kind of place is full of danger, and it is not appropriate for you to enter rashly now. The Lord of Soul Eater said lightly. When he mentioned the word underworld, his whole body moved a lot, as if several people were afraid. Okay, stinky boy, hurry up and go to retreat. The enormous power absorbed by the source of the heretic god and the soul-devouring talisman should be enough for you to make a breakthrough, and now you need a period of time to settle yourself. During this period, we will host everything for you. The master of Soul Eater cast a glance at Xiao Yang, whose breath was chaotic, and scolded directly with a smile. Then I will trouble the teacher and the two ladies. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he looked up to the sky and laughed loudly, and went to retreat towards the secret room. In this retreat, it is necessary to truly summarize the many forces in the body, and the refining of those medicinal pills also needs to be completed as soon as possible. Girl, don't hate me. Just as Xiao Yang disappeared, the master of Soul Eater suddenly shook his head and said to Mu Yingying beside him, I don't. Mu Yingying pouted, but the stubbornness in her eyes still fell into Yun Yun's eyes. The power of yin and yang scrolls belongs to yin and evil, and it is not suitable for you at all. But I need strength, Mu Yingying said with dissatisfaction. Power. There seems to be a demerit in the center of the ghost world. A certain artifact in the center of the human world is very suitable for you, but I don't know. Teacher, tell me. Hey, don't worry, that thing will naturally wait for my beloved disciple to leave the customs, so that he can take it back for you in person. Anyway, he will go there sooner or later. Good boy. In the extremely lively Li Soul domain high in the sky, big figures emerged one after another. Looking at the thin black shadow above the sky, the Lord of Soul Eater and others took the lead in speaking. Xiao Yang's body instantly rose from the secret room, and a faint dragon's might lingered around him. That was the fluctuation that occurred after completely absorbing the blood of the Golden Dragon King's origin. Now, not to mention how terrifying the strength is, just with Xiao Yang's body, I am afraid that the real 6-layer reincarnation level powerhouse will be helpless in a short time. The tempering of the Golden Dragon King's original dragon blood made his body's strength reach a certain terrifying level. Teacher, this is the 9th grade Shendan, the reincarnation nirvana pill, which is enough for the teacher to completely step into the 6th level. Yingying, these are the remuneration pills that the cold-blooded general and others have promised. There are also many 8th grade pills, which are used for Xiao Gemufeng and other heroes of the Battle of the Ghost World. A lazy laughter slowly emerged from the Golden Dragon. Suddenly, a round medicinal pill quietly appeared in front of the Soul Eater Lord. Then Xiao Yang glanced at random and threw a ring to Mu Yingying. Mu Yingying nodded and took it down easily. This thing. The Lord of Soul Eater looked strangely, staring at the medicine pill floating in front of him with some surprise. Obviously, with his current strength, he could smell a moving wave from it. The refining of this elixir is not the power of ordinary medicinal materials, but the refining of dark substances and ghostly souls. Snoring. Seeing Xiao Yang's behavior as if nothing was wrong, countless strong souls in Li Soul region couldn't help but swallow their saliva. Xiao Yang's handwriting can be described as very luxurious. There are very few people who can refine the 9th grade medicinal herbs in this vast world. Even the 8th grade medicinal herbs are extremely precious. This domain master Xiao actually refined so many medicinal pills during his retreat. This guy's medicine refining skills are too terrifying. The color of envy permeated the hearts of countless people. If it wasn't for Du Chifei, I am afraid that all the strong souls in the scene would instantly flee to the endless fire. What are you looking at? Don't go down to practice. Prepare for the next catastrophe. After some sighs, Du Chifei's mighty voice was transmitted throughout the Li Soul realm. Obviously, it was necessary to be shocked at this time in order to retain the current power. 10 minutes later, in the conference hall of Li Huanyu headquarters. At this time, most of the high-rise buildings are gathered here. The 10 halls Yang Luo, Xiao Gui's family, the cold-blooded general and others, as well as Yuan Yang, Yun Qi, worked hard to the top of the Soul realm. Naturally, those medicinal pills had already been distributed, allowing the cold-blooded general and others to voluntarily join the Endless Fire territory. Master Xiao, now that your injury has healed, what are your plans? The whole hall was full of joy, but after a while, the voices of several strong men headed by the Li Huanyu Court of Justice and the Court of Judgment were the first to break the peace. The Lord of Soul Eater and the Lord of Thunder were sitting on top of each other, watching all this indifferently. These things must be handled by these guys themselves. Current plans, not for the time being. Xiao Yang turned his head to look and found that these people were very face-to-face. They seemed to be completely different from the people who controlled the 2 courtyards during the previous catastrophe, so they avoided it. In Li Soul Domain, there were some people who once murdered the senior master of Soul Eater. Now all of them have been dismissed from their positions. These are all new recruits, but their strength and prestige should not be underestimated, trustworthy. Yun Yun opened her mouth softly, explaining the scene to Xiao Yang, and Xiao Yang's expression became comfortable after speaking. Lord Xiao Yu, I'm waiting for a plan, I don't know. In Li Sol domain, Du Qifei now occupies a dominant position, but many things still have to be given to the Court of Justice and the Court of Judgment to do. But it doesn't matter. Xiao Yang grinned, as if he had guessed something. Alliance. Several strong men were in high spirits and said plausibly, this matter is the top priority now. Alliance. Following the exit of several people, everyone in the entire hall exclaimed. Although the leader of the Foreign Evil clan and other supreme powerhouses have not yet fully appeared and announced the start of the Second World War, but from the current situation, the Second World War has already begun, and the world is facing a very complicated situation. We've all heard about the matter of the immortal realm, that Lord Xiao Yu and others have turned the tide, and now it is even more reasonable to save our ghost realm from danger, and to form an alliance is reasonable. Several people looked at each other. Lin listed out important news, waiting for Xiao Yang's actions. Alliance. Xiao Yang murmured, but did not agree for a while. Now that the 10-temple Yama has returned to normal, and things like the entrance to the underworld are also known, as long as one's own strength is further improved, he can go to the place where the Xiao clan slept. But before that, I'm afraid I have to go to the fairy world, the demon world and other places. The alliance is not in a hurry. Now we still need to go to the demon world and the immortal world to negotiate. After the final decision, how do you feel about strengthening the alliance? Just when Xiao Yang was at a loss, Yun spoke quietly. Then I'll wait here to wait for the good news from Lord Xiao. Regarding the alliance, as long as Lord Xiao speaks, anything in our ghost world can be mobilized. Several strong men laughed. At this moment, Yun's beautiful eyes looked slightly at the Thunder Lord and Soul Eater who were above the top. It seemed that these actions were discussed by them long ago. The people in front of them were just passing through. This is the end of the matter. Tonight we will set off to return to the Endless Fire territory. The next time may not be peaceful. Xiao Yang bowed to the master of Soul Eater, and the implication was also to show his energy. Yun Qi is now an 8th grade pharmacist. With the addition of that girl, Yuan Yang, many strong people will go with you. The 10 halls Yama, Xiao Gui and others will stay here, always paying attention to the changes at the entrance to the underworld. The Lord of Soul Eater said. Okay. A series of orders and arrangements emerged. Girl, come with me. When the matter was over, everyone left one after another, but the master of Soul Eater pretended to be mysterious and led Mu Yingying towards her house. This is it. Holy Flame. The 19th Holy Flame, Jin Yang Yang. When Mu Yingying saw the pale golden strange stone in front of her, she was very excited, and a wave of hot waves slowly came. I traveled to the ghost world and went to the Buddha world for revenge. I found this holy flame by chance and kept it for a long time. Don't tell that guy Xiao Yang, the Soul Eater said with a smile. Teacher, you can give Xiao Yang something, it will be of use to him. Mu Yingying's eyes twinkled with stars, she was extremely happy. This thing suits you, not him. The master of Soul Eater pretended to be mysterious. Yingying thanked the teacher. When Mu Yingying heard the words, she also noticed it, nodded suddenly, and then quietly took it down and said goodbye solemnly. After dozens of minutes, Xiao Yang and his party left the ghost realm overnight and returned to the Endless Fire realm. What an eccentric old guy. Lord Lei smiled lightly, looking at Soul Eater's stingy attitude, he couldn't help laughing. However, she seemed to be looking forward to it in her heart. Could it really be a misunderstanding between her and Xiao Tianming? The master of Soul Eater smiled helplessly as he looked at Xiao Yang and the others who were walking away. This holy flame was naturally snatched from the hands of the powerful Buddhist world, but unfortunately it has no substantial effect on the current Xiao Yang, so he quietly gave it to Mu Yingying. It can be regarded as making up for some of the debts I owe to this girl in my heart. After all, the sacrifice had something to do with him more or less. At the core of the Endless Fire territory, it is surrounded by the sacred flames of heaven and earth all day long, so that all evil spirits and beasts have nowhere to hide. Powerful asylum. In the mother-in-law's hall, Zuna is now burying her head in reviewing the scrolls of trivial matters in the Endless Fire territory. These things obviously require her to do it herself, but the arrogant daughter of the past is also very distressed now. After all, in the Endless Fire territory there are so many things. Mother, the domain master and others have returned safely. Suddenly, a joyful voice came from outside the palace gate. Go! Zuna heard the words, the distress on her brows flashed away, and a faint charming smile bathed her face as she walked towards the exit of the space passage. This is it. What a huge team. Not long after, when a group of high-level leaders headed by Zuna arrived at the Endless Fire territory, they couldn't help being stunned after seeing the many strong men pouring out of the exit. The old man with white bones, the cold-blooded general, the 2 5-layer reincarnation rank, and many other Samsara rank powerhouses had already completely joined the Endless Fire realm and returned with Xiao Yang and the others. With such a powerful new force joining in, it will undoubtedly bring the foundation of the Endless Fire territory to a higher level. Thank you for your hard work. In the days to come, let's have a good rest. Xiao Yang said to the huge crowd behind. Yes. The mighty voice came out. Such a terrifying lineup can be described as extremely luxurious. Yuna, tomorrow you will take Yunqi to the immortal realm. You can discuss the alliance with them first. By the way, you can get some medicine pills from the Temple of Medicine refining and come back. If it can help others to enter the 9th grade, that is, it could not be better. Xiao Yang smirked, looking at Yunqi's 8th rank alchemist skill, and couldn't help smacking his tongue. Thank you, Domain Master. Yunqi nodded and smiled, naturally agreeing with Xiao Yang's arrangement. In addition, I was looking for the scrolls of the formation, and now that the Endless Fire territory has a girl like Yuan Yang in charge, this place is a place of fiery flame. Xiao Yang looked at the plump and pink Yuan Yang behind him, and said with a chuckle, it was obvious that this girl, Yuan Yang, was more than a little bit stronger than him in terms of the accomplishments of a battle formation master. A little bit. Yuan Yang's eyes lit up when she heard this, but she still stuck her tongue out at Xiao Yang, extremely mischievous. In addition, the orders were distributed under the discussions of Xiao Yang, Yun, and Zuna. Obviously, these are all measures that have a magical effect on the Endless Fire territory. Where's Ying? As the night approached, after a series of matters in the Endless Fire territory were settled, only Xiao Yang, Yun, and Zuna were left in the hall. Xiao Yang came back to his senses and couldn't help but wonder. It seems that this girl disappeared when she just poured out of the space channel and arrived at the Endless Fire territory. She went to retreat. She should have made a breakthrough in this trip to the ghost world. Yun shook her head, but of course they didn't know. Mu Yingying had just arrived in the Endless Fire realm, and she rushed into the secret room to retreat and devoured the holy flame. With the holy flames given by the master of Soul Eater, Mu Yingying now has 3 holy flames in her body, and the combination and the power of Fen Ju are enough to increase her strength quite a bit. Of course, the naive and mischievous Mu Yingying would not know that this holy flame, the Lord of Soul Eater, was actually intended to be given to Xiao Yang, but ranked 19th, it has almost no substantive effect on the current Xiao Yang. In addition, Mu Yingying sacrificed because of her own reasons, and she gave it to Mu Yingying just now. What about Kaylin? After a while, Xiao Yang spoke again. Cai, Sister Kaylin, she. Being asked by Xiao Yang like this, Zuna's face instantly turned pale, as if there was a bad omen. Go. Xiao Yang got up directly and walked towards Kaylin's residence. Kaylin is indifferent by nature, and her residence is in the mountains and clouds. How is this going? As soon as he pushed open the door and entered, he saw a delicate person lying weakly on the bed. Xiao Yang's brows became serious for the first time. At this time, Kaylin's face was pale, and the entire body was actually filled with a stream of 10-colored light, which kept flowing. When Xiao Yang stared at this colorful streamer, his entire body couldn't help but tremble, as if this kind of power was enough to threaten his own life. I'm fine. Do not come. Just when Xiao Yang wanted to walk close to Kaylin and explore the changes on his body, Kaylin's cold voice resounded throughout the room. This is the power fluctuation of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. At this moment, an unbelievable look appeared in Yun's beautiful eyes. Although Yun and Kaylin have known each other for a long time, in the memory of his master Hua Qing'er and the power of inheritance, the 10-colored sky-swallowing python is one of the most powerful ancient beasts in the world. Its power can be learned from the world. Even the 3 gods Jiaoji conquered by Yaoji's majesty were far less terrifying. Legend has it that this kind of creature is a superpower at the same time as Lunar and Flower God. At this time, on the skin of the color scales, 10 colors flowed, and from time to time, slices of snake scales with 10-color halos appeared. This kind of thing. I'm afraid the only way to go to the center of the demon world is to go. Zuna looked at Kaylin with a slightly painful expression, and after gritting her teeth, she decided to exit. Zuna, you clearly promised me. As soon as Zuna's voice fell, Kaylin scolded her angrily, but her voice seemed soft and lacked any prestige. Sister Kaylin, the situation in your body must be resolved as soon as possible. There is no delay. Now we have the strength to resolve it in the Endless Fire territory, even in the center of the demon world. Kaoru spoke stubbornly. Zuna, Yuna, I will leave you with the endless fire domain and the immortal realm. Tomorrow, I will take Kaelin to the demon realm to solve the matter of the 10-colored sky-swallowing python. Xiao Yang's face was gloomy, and his brows were extremely solemn. Brother Xiao Yang, I have already made inquiries, but the center of the demon world is too mysterious, and the area is huge, so it is impossible to find the entrance to the center of the demon world. When Brother Xiao Yang leaves, he can go to the residence of the Haisha Dragon Wolf first. He is a subordinate of the Demon Emperor, and he should know some things about the center of the demon world. Zuna slowly said the information she had found. Xiao Yang nodded, and at the same time, his eyes were filled with love as he looked at Kaelin lying on the bed. I'm fine. Even at this time, Cai Lin still spoke indifferently as if nothing was happening, as if she didn't want Xiao Yang and others to worry about her. It is a pity that the powerlessness on the body, even the skin and blood, the 10-colored light in the soul is constantly flowing, and there is a faint trace of devouring her. She also knows that if the power of 10 colors in her body is not resolved as soon as possible, it will become a hidden danger sooner or later. But in her memory, she can vaguely feel that the power of 10 colors is absolutely extraordinary. Even though Xiao Yang's strength has now broken through to the 6th level of reincarnation, Kaelin doesn't want him to risk his life for himself. There is an intuition in the dark. It seems that even Xiao Yang's current 6-layer reincarnation level strength is still not enough to deal with the power of 10 colors. Worry, fear slowly took over my heart. Turning his head slightly, he saw Xiao Yang and the two women in front of him constantly discussing the trip to the demon world. There was no fear in his eyes, but Kaelin's heart suddenly filled with warmth. This video will end here.